Well, I am certainly with Buckeye royalty when it comes to the Rose Bowl. Coach John Cooper is the only coach to win in the Pac-10, the Rose Bowl, and the Big Ten, the Rose Bowl. You won it in, 87 when Arizona State beat Michigan, and then you 97 Rose Bowl. Your Buckeyes beat Arizona State.
Beat Arizona State, absolutely. You know what? That record will never be broken. Because there is no Big Ten and SEC anymore, or Pac-10.
Yeah, the way it was. Yeah. Now those teams, a lot of those teams are in the Big Ten now.
Yep.
Coach, it was like the Rose Bowl was it. If you were at Ohio State, you wanted to be in the Rose Bowl. If you were at Arizona State, you wanted to be in the Rose Bowl. You did it from both sides. I mean, that's rare air, my friend.
I put the Rose Bowl right up here at the top. And I've been to most of those other bowl games too. It used to be dumb. If you had a great year, you went to a bowl game. If you won the Big Ten, of course, you went to the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl, maybe I've taken a team to more stadiums than anybody's ever coached. Over 90 stadiums. It ain't even close. The most beautiful stadium by far is the Rose Bowl. It's not the loudest, it's not the biggest, but it's the prettiest, and it's obviously the most prestigious. That was the greatest thrill of my coaching career is winning the Rose Bowl.
Well, they call it the granddaddy of them all. Ohio State has a 4-game winning streak in the Rose Bowl, Coach. 4 living coaches with wins. Started with you in 97, and then, of course, Jim Tressel won it in 2010. Urban Meyer won it in 2019, and then Ryan Day obviously beat Utah to get his first Rose Bowl win, and he's going for his second. You guys are all proud of that. I mean, I talked to all those guys, and this is special.
It is special. It's very special. But first of all, you don't get there without having a great year. And we've had a great year. I mean, we lost 1 game to the number 1 ranked team in the country. 2 games, I guess, counting, I won't even mention the other team.
Right.
But anyway, we've had a great year, and I think we'll win this game. I really do. I think we're better than Oregon. I think we've got better players, and I think we coach better. And if we play like we played against Tennessee, we'll win this game.
You look at the Rose Bowl's history and and all the greats, Woody Hayes and everything. You're in the Hall of Fame there. How special is that?
It's the ultimate. I'm in the Hall of Fame any place I ever coached as a head coach. I think in nine around the country, but the Rose Bowl is right at the top. It will never get any better than the Rose Bowl.
When you look at this game, and, I talked to Coach Tress the other day, and he thinks Ohio State will have the emotional advantage from the standpoint, back on October 12th, they lost to these guys, as you mentioned, by 1 point, and you always want a second shot. You always want another shot. Well, now they got it. And it's hard to beat a team twice in the same year, isn't it?
It's very difficult to beat a team, particularly a team as good as we're playing. And we came that close to having a chance to win that game. I mean, within 2 seconds, we get a chance to kick the game-winning field goal. The game might be decided by a field goal. A lot of these games are, but I think it's going to be a great game. It's not going to be a great trip like it used to be. We used to go out there a week earlier. If you had a good year, Dom, you went to the Rose Bowl. You went out there, you went to Disneyland. You went out to Lowry's steak place and see which team could eat the most, and you had a good time. Now you're going to go out there and it's win, baby, win, uptight. And then if you win, you got to come back and get ready for another game, 5 days later or 6 days later?
You look at this Ohio State football team. Will Howard is a guy that he said he's still haunted the way the first game ended, him running, sliding, and time ran out. What do you expect out of him? And you like that kid.
I like that kid a lot. The more I'm around him, the more I like him. Is he a great passer? No, he's not a great passer, but he's a great football player. He's the leader of that team. The players go to him. He's probably one of the hardest working players out there. He's lost weight. I think you'll see him run the ball a little more in this game than he has during the regular season. But he's a winner. He's a leader, and he's a winner, and I'd love to have him on my team if I were coaching.
We hear the coaches talk about the balanced attack. Ohio State seemed to get the passing game to open up the running game against Tennessee. Do you stay with that philosophy in this game, especially when you have Jeremiah Smith on one side and Emeka Buka on the other.
I think this is the easiest game for coach to call. Whether it's Chip Kelly or whether it's the head coach Ryan making the final decision or not. You look over there and that safety's in the middle of the field. One guy's out here covering number 4. Hey, throw him the ball. Get him the ball. Get him the ball if you want to win the game. And plus, if they double him, we got 2 other receivers on this side that are pretty good. And the running game will come later on. Let's hit some home runs.
Air it out.
Air it out. Air it out. The team that makes the fewest mistakes in this game, though, Dom, will win the game. You can't turn the ball over. You can't get stupid penalties. It might come down to making a field goal. A lot of these close games, field goal either going to win or lose the game, including 2 years ago against Georgia.
Obviously, Oregon's ranked number 1. The Buckeyes are ranked 6th. Ohio State was ranked a lot higher earlier in the year. With that said, does this remind you of 2014? When Ohio State in the semifinal played Alabama? A lot of people felt like that game was the 2 best teams. That was the national title game. Of course, Ohio State went on to beat Oregon. Are these the 2 best teams in the tournament getting ready to meet out in Pasadena on Wednesday?
I think that remains to be seen. I would not count out Texas. I wouldn't count out Georgia because they've had great recruiting class. Don, the team that's got the best players usually wins the game. And we're right there with them because we've had great recruiting classes. Our coaches are doing a great job recruiting. They're doing a great job in the winter conditioning program. They got the players here all summer. They're in great shape. We're pretty healthy except for those 2 offensive linemen. But I think there's 3 teams that can win it. I think either Texas can win it. I think Georgia can win it, and I think Ohio State can win it.
All right, Coach. Last thing, and these are kind of uncharted waters. You mentioned the fact that the Rose Bowl was always, like a reward. Well, now it's part of the playoff, and it's going to be in and out. It's a business trip. With that said, this is the 14th game of the season for Ohio State. And if they win, they'll have 2 more.
Got 2 more to go.
And nobody really knows what to expect because this is the first year for this. There's a little bit of a learning curve, isn't there?
Oh, Dom, it's out of control. I mean, these players here now stay 12 months a year. They're here in the summertime. Well, even the guys, the new class that's coming in to go to, to spring semester. Then they'll be here all spring. They'll be here for spring practice. They'll be here all summer for conditioning. They're here all fall. I mean, they're here they're going to be here for 4 years in a row.
It's pro football.
Pro football. It's like pro football, yeah. And they love you more if you win. You got to win in the portal. If you're not happy, hey, transfer. And if we need help, go get the best player from Mississippi. Go get the 2 best players from Alabama. That makes you a better coach.
I said it in the beginning, Buckeye royalty. Coach John Cooper, 1 in the Pac-10, 1 in the Big Ten, and he's in the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame.